Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week, get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. With news, the move towards bear market conditions seems to be relentless, even if Wall Street pulled back slightly on Friday. But first, the Australian election seems to have not only delivered a change of governing party, the traditional switch between the coalition LNP and the Australian Labor Party, but voters behaved in an unusual way, cutting their support for both. The LNP suffered a huge loss of support, but the ALP suffered a loss as well, even if quite small. The gainers were the blue-green independents, the teals, and to a much lesser extent, the red-green greens, the purples. Teal independents have won 7 more seats so far, as many as the ALP. In other news, the Chinese Central Bank held steady its key rates for corporates and household loans in its May fixing, but cut the mortgage reference rates for the second time this year. The 1-year loan prime rate was kept unchanged, while the 5-year loan prime rate was trimmed by 15 basis points, the most since a revamp of the rate in 2019, and it's now at 4.45%. And the sharply rising risk of default by many Chinese companies has forced their authorities to offer default insurance to investors to induce them to supply funding. Bond investors have become increasingly wary of buying corporate debt amid slowing economic growth. Even in China, they privatise the benefits and socialise the risks. Taiwanese export orders have taken a very sudden and unexpected dive. After being hugely positive for more than 2 years, these export orders slumped 5.5% in May. Japan is in the news again with another rare data item. They got inflation in April of 2.5%. It wasn't unexpected, and the actual level came in about the forecasted level. They haven't had price inflation at this level in more than 7 years. In their Friday session, Wall Street started with sharp losses, pushing towards the start of a bear market. But in late trading, those losses were pared back, and they ended the day virtually unchanged. But the fear of bear market conditions hasn't really receded. And the US Treasury 10-year yield will start today unchanged at 2.79%. And the price of gold is a little firmer today, up $4 since this time on Saturday, at $1,847 an ounce. A week ago, it was $1,810 an ounce. And oil prices have little changed today, and now just on $110 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is just under $111 a barrel. The convergence of the two benchmarks is actually quite unusual. And the Kiwi dollar will open today back up more than 1/4 cent against the US dollar, now at 64.1 US cents. Against the Australian dollar, we're firmish at 91 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're also firmish at 60.7 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at 71.3, which is up 30 basis points from this time on Saturday. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.